Hey everybody, Tim Dwyer here from South Australia, and it's a typical summer's day here in sunny South Australia, and it is going to get hot, hot, hot. So not today, but in the next few days, it will get seriously hot. And I think politically, it's getting seriously hot. Um, Look, there's a lot going on, and I'm probably a little hard to contact for some people at the moment, and we've got a bit of other stuff going on personally in the family. So bear with us with all this. We're just trying to juggle all this stuff. You know what it's like. It's the same in your life, probably. So let me share the screen. Let me get on with this. Let me bring this one up and let me open that up. So, to all and every state and federal politician, be on notice. Your fraud and corruption has caught up with you, and it has big time, big time. You are only a belligerent occupiers. That's all you are. They are belligerent occupiers. And I encourage you to go and look the term, that what that means, look it up. And they are about to be hit with a notice of failure of fiduciary obligation. Anyway, your day is done, and here come the Australian people, and we're coming on many, many fronts. The letters patent and the Great Seal of Queen Victoria, we had a Great Seal, right? The Great Seal of Authority was removed in 1973, replaced by the kangaroo and the emu. And then the letters patent that creates the lawful office of the Governor General was removed in 1976. It was put in the archives, and you only put something in the archives when you're finished with it. Now let's have a look at this. You'll find this at ourtrueaustralia.com under legal documents. You'll need to scroll down to page 30. 1973 statute law revision, Gough Whitlam, Labor Party, Goof Watlam. Anyway, the Crimes Act, as amended by the Crimes Act 1973, omit from paragraph 1 the Great Seal of the Commonwealth and insert Great Seal of Australia. There was no referendum. There was no lawful process adhered to. It was simply struck out by the stroke of a pen, and it is not lawfully enacted. And every politician, state and federal, lying, snaky looking people are all fraudulent because, amongst many, 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 many other things, they did this with the stroke of the pen without the people of this country giving them permission to do it. Moving on. The political parties removed our Commonwealth from the Geneva Convention Act. Hello, hello, hello. Look at this. Omit from the definition of Australia in subsection 2 of the Commonwealth. So wipe out the Commonwealth. Section 6, omit the Commonwealth. Section 7, omit the Commonwealth. Section 8, omit external and insert foreign. Section 10, omit from paragraph 1 of the Commonwealth. The Corporation of Australia, that the political parties, the treasonous, seditionous, treacherous bastards, they shifted us, the Commonwealth, out of the Geneva Convention. And they're not even in it. Isn't that interesting? Again, done by the stroke of a pen with no lawful authority, with the appearance of authority, with titular office. Look that word up too, titular office, by the stroke of a pen. And they took us out by the stroke of a pen, and we will put us back in by the stroke of a pen. Treachery. To do any act or thing with the intent to overthrow the Constitution of the Commonwealth by revolution or sabotage. Every member of Parliament, every political party has sabotaged the Commonwealth. They are treacherous bastards. That's all they are. You've got to get this into your head. I know I go over and over and over, but we've got to prep the ground. You've got to know that when we move, we're moving on solid ground with solid knowledge. The swearing in, oh, Tim, don't start on that again, for goodness sake. Well, it appears you're not paying much attention to it because you're a bunch of muppets. You're probably all going to line up and vote again for somebody. It's a waste of time. The Constitution provides that every member of the House of Representatives, before taking his or her seat, must take and subscribe, meaning sign an oath or affirmation of office of allegiance before the Governor General. Now, we haven't got a lawful Governor General. We do not. So I don't know why we're signing it now in front, but this is how it should be. Or some person authorised by the Governor General. The oath or affirmation takes on the following form. There's the oath. I do swear that I'll be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, would now be King Charles III, his heirs and successors, according to law, so help me God. Or the affirmation, I do solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I'll be faithful and bear true allegiance to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth, which would have been the last Parliament, the second, her heirs and successors, according to law. Not one state or federal politician has sworn the lawful oath for decades. For decades. They are there as frauds and imposters. Don't believe me? Have a look at this. This is part of a FOI we got. I, Anthony Albanese, do solemnly and sincerely affirm and declare that I will well and truly serve the Commonwealth of Australia, her lands and her people in the office of Prime Minister. Tell me how that has got anything to do with anything here. It simply has not. The man is a fraud. Absolute fraud. And these collaborating, look, I hate to say this, but these people were collaborating how to get the death shots out, state and federal belligerent occupiers, conspiring to set loose in this country a product they well knew would kill millions of us. They knew it. And every single one of these persons, animals, are criminals. They're in high places and they're paid well with your money, but they nonetheless have blood all over their hands. The Parliament of Australia, and this is taken from their website, and you can see their little chook and the rat up here, kangaroo and the emu. The Parliament of Australia is a federal legislature of Australia. It consists of three elements. The monarch of Australia. That's bullshit. That is a fabrication. The monarch of Australia does not exist at law in our constitution. The Senate and the House of Representatives. And they're saying down here that the Parliament of Australia was established on the 1st of January 1901 and its first session was May the 9th, 1901. That is a bald-faced lie. This Parliament was created in 1973 and completed in 1986. This Parliament was first sat on the 9th of July 1900. And it says here, the legislative power of the Commonwealth shall be vested in the federal Parliament, which shall consist of the Queen, not the monarch of Australia, the Queen, the Senate, a House of Representatives, and which is hereinafter called the Parliament or the Parliament of the Commonwealth, not the Australian Parliament or the Parliament of Australia. Either way they want to write it. That does not exist at law in our Constitution. This is an absolute fraud and deception on the people. You tell a lie often enough, loud enough, people begin to believe it. A lie is a lie. A fraud is a fraud. And there is no statute of limitations on fraud. This is part of a FOI from the Attorney General's Department of the Australian Government. On December the 5th, 2016, you requested access to documents in respect of instruments or other documents of the Australian Constitution. Specifically, you asked for the existence of an instrument and or document that provides for any entity to create, make, legislate, enact laws other than the Parliament of the Commonwealth, as per Section 1 of the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act, that states that the legislative power of the Commonwealth shall be vested in the federal Parliament, which shall consist of the Queen, a Senate, a House of Representatives, and which in hereinafter is called the Parliament or the Parliament of the Commonwealth, as we just said before. To clarify the request, consider the following. These instruments sought are not readily apparent in the public domain. Acts Interpretation Act 1901, Section 15A, construction of acts to be subject to the Constitution. Every act shall be read and construed subject to the Constitution, and so as not to exceed the legislative power of the Commonwealth, very important, to the intent that where any enactment thereof would, but for this section, have been construed as being in excess of that power, it shall nevertheless be a valid enactment to the extent to which it is not in excess of the power. It is sought specifically only the precise factual findings of such instruments and or documents described above. Guess what? It follows that the Attorney General's Department has no relevant documents and I must refuse your request. Surprise, surprise, surprise. All right. Now, a lot of you may have seen these newspapers. Many of you have not. The Corruption Whistleblower. Powerful, powerful, powerful documents. And they are legal documents. Read them as legal documents. That's how they're meant. So you're looking for actual documents of fact, you'll find them in these newspapers. You want to know the real truth, you'll find it in these newspapers. Now, the guys running this newspaper, Corruption Whistleblower, they're conducting a grand jury in Canberra on Saturday, the 8th of February at Magna Carta Place on the Senate side of Old Parliament House. And it is standing on Commonwealth ground. And the reason I put that there is this. Up on the lawns in front of their new monstrosity, that is corporate Commonwealth ground. You stand on their ground, you're on foreign territory. Down at Old Parliament House and the surrounds, you are standing on non-corporate Commonwealth ground. You are standing on legitimate Commonwealth ground. The grand jury will be held there, and you are invited. But once the grand jury has been conducted, you are required to then leave and go home peacefully. Make no other actions. Make no other actions. Get the Corruption Whistleblower. Go to Canberra on the 8th. Read the documents in the Corruption Whistleblower and know that every aspect of what you call government in this country is a fraud, it's a lie, it is just rubbish. My name's Tim Dwyer from South Australia. I will do my best to keep up a little bit of presence in the videos here. However, I've got a lot of stuff I'm trying to do, and trying to juggle all the bits and pieces is getting harder and harder. So if you don't see me from time to time, don't think I've dropped the ball. Don't think I've left the sandpit. Okay? It's just, this is getting down to being very busy. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. I will speak to you again soon. God bless. I'll see you later.